Hi, good evening. Today, while I'm still in JB, my hometown, and I decided to do a English explanation on what is Shiruto. And I'm sure that a lot of you, you will share the filing, to your prospect or your friends about Shiruto. But not all of them will open the filing and then read page by page. And so, therefore, sometimes when you send them a video and give them a brief explanation, and maybe they will, by listen to the explanation, and maybe you can trigger, their interest and then to buy the Shiruto from us. Okay, so now I'd like to explain, what is Shiruto. Now, this is our Shiruto filing, and I'm sure that as IPO, all of you will definitely will keep a set of this filing in your bag or whatever. And of course, when you go out, make sure that you have few sachet of the Shiruto with you, and and you can put it back, and then if you see that, some of your friends, maybe they're having a cough or having flu or whatever, please give them a sachet, and maybe they will, after they, consume one sachet, maybe they will get better. Right now, I would like to start from the first page. Right, when you look at this page, okay, and every day, anywhere that we go, and even, we go to cinema, restaurant, or any place that you go, then anything that you touch, you have a high, tendency that you will contact pathogens, okay? And now, what are pathogens? What are pathogens? Now, the pathogens are, in fact, they are the microorganism and the antibiotic that causes the disease, okay? Now, they are parasites, bacteria, fungi, viruses, dust, haze, pollen, and so on. So therefore, everyone, when you go out, definitely you will have a chance to contact, millions of pathogens every day. Okay, now you have to remember that, in our body, we have a very sophisticated immune system. And then now, what is immune system? In fact, immune system is a 24-hour shield which can protect our body. And in our body, and there are two types. There are two types of immune system. One is externally and one is internally. Now, for the external is they want to defend against the pathogens that which I just mentioned, and for internal, that means they want to eliminate age and those abnormal cells. So therefore, when you tell people that immune system, you have to let them know that there are two types of immune system, which is internal and external. Okay, now when you see this graph here, and you see there's a boxing glove, and the boxing glove, in the boxing ring, that boxing glove, where we wear the boxing glove, and then our intention is to fight. So it's the same thing as the immune system here. The whole thing is called macrophages, okay? Now, we have macrophages in our body, okay? And then this is the most important immune cells to fight against diseases. Therefore, you have to take care of the whole thing that's a macrophage, and to make sure that, our boxing glove is strong enough to fight against diseases. Okay, now, a lot of people ask, in macrophage, in Mandarin, they call 巨噬细胞. Now, what do they do, okay? Basically, you have to know that there are 4 important roles for these macrophages, okay? The first one will be protect the body. And then the second one will be regulate the immune system. So that means that, now, I went to see a client that day that, her immune system is too high. and the immune system, attack her own body. And so this is not a good sign, okay? So if the immune system is too high, our product can help to regulate, the immune system back to normal. If it's too low, they will help to regulate the immune system to normal range. All right, the third one is they will get rid of the age and the abnormal cells, because when you have age and abnormal cells, is not a good thing. All right, and number 4, they will repair the cells as well. Okay, I can see that a lot of friends are here. Okay, now I want to explain one by one, because you need to have the concept of what does this immune system do. And then when you tell your client or tell your prospect, then they will have a clearer understanding, okay? All right, the first one is protect the body, to protect the body. Okay, now it's like the boxing glove. When the pathogens come in, this boxing glove will fight against the bacteria so that, can protect our body. And then it will signal all the immune cells to attack the bacteria as well. And then therefore, in this system, they can protect the human cells. All right, number 2, they regulate the immune system. Regulate the immune system. Okay, now, from time to time, our immune system maybe can be high and low, and then for the macrophage, in fact, they can regulate, our immune system, and especially if it's too high immune system, we want to tell them to stop attack our own body. All right, number 3, eliminate age and abnormal cells. When we age, and then definitely we have some cells become old or become abnormal, and of course, if you have abnormal cells, and sometimes you might lead to cancer or whatever, and so this immune system can help to eliminate age and abnormal cells. All right, number 4, repair cells. When we're aging, and then definitely some of the cells are damaged or whatever. It's like our car. Some of the spare parts, if they're damaged and everything, and definitely we'll bring to the workshop to repair. Same as immune system, and then they will help us to repair the cells. Okay, now when we look at this graph here, now what are the factors that affect the macrophage vitality? Okay, now a lot of factors will affect our immune system, as you know. Now for example, aging. Okay, now you can see that the older people, they have less immune system, and then for the younger one, they might have higher immune system. And then environmental pollution. Now, especially I think KL has a lot of haze now, and then sometimes we have the burning of the neighbor country, and then causes a lot of haze in our country. And then sometimes we have too high temperature or too low temperature, will affect our immune system as well. And then lifestyle, and I'm sure that in the modern city right now, a lot of people will sleep very late, I think including myself. And if you don't have enough sleep, or you lack of nutrients, well, in Malaysia, I'm sure that a lot of people, you won't die of starvation, but you might not have balanced diet. That means a lot of people say, you need to have a 7 serving of fruits and vegetable per day, but you ask yourself whether, are you doing it correctly? And then, of course, we do have stress. And mental stress is the cause of the immune system, it's the cause to affect the immune system. Okay, now how to make sure that macrophages will function normally for 24 hours. That means how to make sure our immune system works properly for the 24 hours. Well, the best way is to provide the vitamins for the macrophage. Okay, now if we, give the vitamin for the macrophage, what can you do? That means they can protect the body, and it will regulate our immune system, and then they will eliminate age and old cells and repair cells as well. Now, this is the second time I mentioned about the 4 roles of the immune system. So you have to remember. So the immune system has 4 different roles, okay? All right, now we are here to provide you the solution. That's the Shiruto. And so it comes with this. It looks like this. And when you need to consume it, you just open it, okay? And you just put it in your mouth, and then you just consume it. So it tastes like a blueberry flavor. And then seriously, some of the kids, they thought it's candy. So parents, remember to put your Shiruto properly. I one friend, the kids thought that this is candy, and then he keep open the box, and the mom right now locked the box in the closet. Okay. Now, I would like to explain, some unique points for this Shiruto. And the first one is the unique ingredient. And the second one is we have to patented the fermentation and the extraction process. And hi, Pang. And third one, I'll provide you some data for our clinical study. And number 4, and it is the first and the only ingredient and recognized by the Citra from Japan. As you know that anything made from Japan, and it's a very super good quality. Okay, now it has a unique ingredient, and you can see that this is wheat. It is extract from the wheat, and the ingredient is called IPPA1. IPPA1. This is I think it's our winning formula. And then this is the IPPA1. In fact, is an important vitamin for our immune cells. Now, what is vitamin? Now, for example, if you need to consume like vitamin C, vitamin D, E, K, or whatever, and you mean it's not clear? Okay, never mind. Later, if it's not clear, I will do it again. And well, I think I can see myself, but well, never mind. You just hear my voice will be enough. Okay. Now, vitamin is something that you cannot get it from. You cannot synthesize from your body, and you have to get it from food. So that means you have to consume food in order to get this vitamin. And well, if we don't have enough vitamin, and then sometimes then we will lead to illness, and then our body growth will be affected as well. Okay, now I'm sure that a lot of you, when you look at this, and then you think that it's a bit complicated, but in fact it is not. Okay, try to imagine this is the macrophage. Okay, try to imagine the IPP1 is the key. And then in the macrophage, you have receptor. There are different types of receptor. And the receptor is like a lock. Okay, let me demonstrate. Okay, I found a lock, okay? Now, the key is the IPPA1, and the lock is the receptor. You need to open this lock. That means the receptor. Then this reaction will activate, the nucleus here, and therefore your macrophage will be activated. Okay, now this process, in 2011, and the 3 scientists, because of the discovery of the principles of the immune system activation, they won the Nobel Prize. So therefore, this material, this ingredient, and this product has a winning Nobel Prize formula. Okay. Now, number 2, and we have a very special patented fermentation and extraction process. And a lot of people ask, if I am, allergy to wheat, can I consume this Shiruto or not? And in fact, yes, you can, because it is processed, so therefore you can consume even if you are allergic to wheat. Okay, now how does it work? Okay, now we fermented the wheat extract. Okay, so it is a IPPA1. It will activate the macrophage, same like the lock of the key. And then what does it do? It will stop the infection, and then it will regulate immunity. So that means if you are too high, it will regulate back to normal, and if too low, it will regulate back to the normal range as well. And it will regulate the metabolism as well, and it will improve the wound healing. And I'm sure that you have seen a lot of testimonial that a lot of people have wound that takes time to recover and everything, and takes time to heal. And basically, if they consume this Shiruto, their wound healing will shorten, and then that means they can recover very fast. And then what it can help to prevent, there is and it can prevent the infection and then allergy. I have allergy as well, and so sometimes if I have an allergy, I will just consume sachet or two of this Shiruto, and my allergy went away pretty fast. And dermatitis, and then is those skin issue. And I feel friends, they have a lot of skin issue, eczema, whatever, and when they consume the Shiruto, it really helped them to help them with their eczema problem. As you know that if you go to doctor, normally they'll give you steroid, and but some people, they prefer to use a Shiruto to help them with the eczema issue, right? Now, and then it will help with the hyperlipidemia and the gastric ulcer, and I'll talk about it in the clinical study, and the osteoporosis as well. Now, when we age, our bone density will tend to decrease a lot. And I have a friend that she check on her osteoporosis reading quite often, and so lately her reading dropped a lot due to aging, and so she just sign up a the promotion package, which is right now is 8+1 and then 6+2, and because she really want to help to solve her osteoporosis issue. Right now, and the clinical proven the study. Okay, now all the product from this Be International, we do have clinical study, and so the first one is the IPPA1. It will really activate the activity of macrophage. So that means you open the lock, and the macrophage will be activated, and it is 1,000 times more effective than the beta glucan and the lactic acid bacteria like Yakult. Okay, 1,000 times more effective. It doesn't mean that equivalent to 1,000 bottles of Yakult. Okay, so as you can see that the graph here, the activity of the macrophage when you consume the IPPA1, the activity of macrophages will increase a lot. Okay, it increased by a lot. All right, next, it will reduce the mortality from the parasites. Okay, and then I'm sure that sometimes because I was in insurance line for 25 years, and sometimes when I visit hospital, you will hear a lot of weird cases of the people would die from some infection or whatever from parasites. And this, when you consume this Shiruto, the infection, the chances of the infection from the parasites will decrease a lot. Okay, now reduce dermatitis. Okay, which is a skin problem. Now, when you have a skin problem, why don't you try Shiruto? Because since you have tried so many different types of method already, so maybe just by trying one more, and then your skin problem will be solved as well. And as you can see from this graph here, control means like the people who do not take the IPPA1. If they take IPPA1 and their condition, their problem will be decreased by 71%, which is a very high percentage. All right, now reduce allergy reaction. Now we have, like as I mentioned before, that we have tons of testimonial for the people that to share with us their allergy improvement. And as you can see here, and this graph here is the people who do not consume the IPPA1, and the yellow color means that the people who consume IPPA1. And if you consume IPPA1, your index of allergy will decrease by a lot. Hi Sean. By the way, today why I want to do the English explanation on this Shiruto is I was inspired by Sean Yip, because he did a very good job on the Mandarin explanation yesterday. Thank you, Sean. Okay, now next, it can effectively reduce the high cholesterol. Now, when you go to do some blood tests and everything, and definitely they will tell you like your HDL or LDL. Now the LDL, which is a bad cholesterol, when this bad cholesterol is oxidized, then it is not a good sign. So we need to consume this IPPA1 to eliminate this oxidized bad cholesterol. And so therefore, if you constantly continue to consume this Shiruto, and your cholesterol level will be, the bad cholesterol will be reduced as well. Okay, now next is the reduced gastric ulcer. A lot of people, they will have gastric ulcer due to lifestyle, due to, they work so, they are so busy, and then they seldom have their meal like regularly. So therefore, a lot of people in the modern society right now, they have this gastric ulcer. So, and definitely our IPPA1, in our Shiruto can help. All right, next we have, okay, we can reduce insulin, the type 1 diabetes people, and we can reduce the to delay the disease outbreak. Now, I have a very strong the feeling about this. My dad is the type 1 diabetic patient, and every day I saw him have to inject I think maybe 2 times of the insulin on his stomach every day. And it's really painful for me to see that, and try to imagine that it's even more painful for him to inject, the insulin on his stomach. And when you have diabetes, a lot of diseases will be linked together. For example, the heart attack, high blood pressure, and everything. And I wish we had this IPPA1 long time ago, and maybe my dad will be still around. So if you have family, friends, or friends which is type 1 diabetes, which that means that they're insulin dependent, please share with them, help them, and then recommend them with this. Okay, next. Now, as you know that, everything in Japan, is a very high quality, and then because they have high standard for everything. And now, Citra, what is Citra? It is the Innate Immunity Control Technology Research Association. You won't believe that, they just organized, to set up this association in Japan just to do research on the ingredient IPPA1. And I remember the professor, he came to Kuala Lumpur to do the road show. He talked about, he's about 60 plus years old. He spent half of his life half of his life, research on this IPPA1 ingredient. And I remember he mentioned that, his mission is to share with more people, and so that it can help more people to increase their the immune system. Okay, now, this is our Shiruto. This is how it looks like for people who just came in, and so I want to make a some summary. Now it is a very unique ingredient. So IPPA1, I've mentioned tons of times. Okay, and so this is how this sachet looks like. And I reopen this. Okay, and so basically how it looks like is, I think for people who haven't seen this, I need to show you how it looks like. Okay. Tastes like blueberry, and it's very, very tasteful. When you finish eating it, please open it, because you still have some some pink color inside. So make sure that you consume this as well. I'll do it when I finish the recording. All right, now, and it is individually packed, so it's very easy for you to bring, put it in your bag, whatever. So when you go out, and remember, if you see someone that having a flu, cough, or whatever, just give them one, and maybe later on they will sign up a big package from you. But the most important thing is you can help them to increase immunity first. Okay, it is a natural botanical ingredient as well, so it is okay for vegetarian. Now, we have a lot of quality certification. In fact, I am trained in food science and food nutrition, and so when I did my research last time and in school, and we always emphasize GMP. What is GMP? Means that it's a good manufacturing practices. In North America, I think in this over the world right now, GMP is something that is very important for a factory, because without the GMP cert, you cannot export your. Then people would think that your product is not up to standard. So our product, we have a GMP cert. Okay, and then we have a halal cert as well. So that means that all our Muslim friends are welcome to try our Shiruto. Okay, and it is a natural botanical ingredient. So that means for vegetarian you can consume as well. Okay, now we have patented the process and the technology, and we have the patented in more than 10 countries. Let me read it out for you. And then what are the countries that Japan, USA, Australia, Europe, Canada, China, Korea, India, Singapore, Israel, Taiwan, and Russia. And as you know that Australia, Singapore, Japan, and USA, and they're so strict on their products and everything. And if we have the patent there, so that means this product is super good. Okay, now we're down to the last page right now. For adults, for kids, in fact, for kids below 2 years old, they have their own immune system. They have a strong immune system as well. And if they're sick, it's okay for kids to consume as well. Okay, and for kids, in fact, we want to help them to increase their immune system and then to reduce the frequency of illness. I do have some friends who share with me that after they eat, after kids consume Shiruto, the chances for the kids to get sick is lesser. Now, I have a friend, the kids having flu, fever, and cough, and last week. Then because I'm not in KL, so one of my member was so helpful and it passed a box of this Shiruto to my friend, and after the kids consume, and the fever, the flu, and cough went away very, very fast. Okay, and for adults, what does this Shiruto can help? it can reduce the allergy, and then so that can speed up the recovery time as well. So like one of my team member, Lillian. Now Lillian has a bad flu last week, and normally, like, when she had flu, it would take about 1 week for her to recover. But last night she feedback to me that it only took her about 2 or 3 days, then the flu was gone. Okay. And then for the elderly people, and we can help them to increase their immune system and then reduce the chances of the infection. Now the recommended dosage for kids, which is about 1 sachet daily, and then for adults 2 to 4 sachet. But of course, like, if the person has a serious illness, whatever, you can let them to consume more. Okay, now that's all for my explanation for this Shiruto English, and I hope I can help a lot of people to share with your friends, which is like, who are like English speaking and everything. Okay, and this is Angela, and this is Shiruto, our BE International winning product.